Okay, if you're like most Americans, you consume way too much sugar and not just with the usual suspects.
Yeah, added sweeteners are very common, and we found out why from Dr. Rupi, all types of sugar come with consequences.
If you have a sweet tooth like me, this might be a good time to listen up. We're going to get some facts and some myths about sugar. It's for another edition of Ask Dr. Rupi. And Dr. Rupi, I don't know if you have a sweet tooth, but I know you have some facts about sugar, right?
Oh, I totally do. Yeah, I've always had a sweet tooth, and this topic really interests me because I've actually tried to cut out sugar in the past. So it's really important to realize that all sugar is not created equally. There are different types of sugar. There is a naturally occurring sugar, and that naturally occurring sugar can become processed and refined. And there are the sugar substitutes. And so we're going to talk a little bit about sugar and some of the natural sugars and what should we be eating, what should we not be eating. So it's of utmost importance to know about added sugar. Added sugar are the sugars that are added to our foods to make them taste better. And so you'd be surprised as to how much of our food has added sugar in it and how much we're consuming, especially here in the US. Now, they did a study that showed about 68% of prepackaged food has added sugars. Isn't that crazy?
Right.
So we're just consuming sugar left, right, and center. So it's really tough sometimes to tell what's okay, what's not, and when, what should I be looking at? So the package labels, nutritional labels back in 2018 are regulated by the FDA, and they mandated to include added sugars. So looking at those labels and looking at how much added sugar there is going to be very important. So those nutritional labels are chock full of information, and there's so many things that you can focus on, but today we're going to focus on the sugar piece of it.
Why do you think it is that sugar has become vilified so much and it's getting such a bad rap? Is it as bad as we think it is?
So the problems with sugar is that it has zero nutritional value. And so sugar can actually replace nutritional foods and fill us up and actually cause poor nutrition. It can also lead to obesity. There's a correlation to diabetes. There's a correlation to coronary heart disease by increasing triglycerides. And so it can be fairly dangerous. There's still a lot of studies and research that needs to be done, but we should start to cut back on those added sugars in our diet. Now, these recommendations are folks that don't have problems processing sugars, like diabetics. Those folks should really be talking to their physicians, to their dietitians, their nutritionists about what's best for them. But for folks that don't have problems processing sugar, added sugar is still a problem. Some of the problems that added sugar can create are they've been linked to obesity, been linked to diabetes, even heart disease, and increased triglycerides in our bloodstream. Obviously, they can lead to tooth decay and cavities that we know about, but they can definitely lead to problems. And this is mainly because of the way that they're processed in our bodies, as well as being empty calories. There is no nutritional value in sugar. And when I talk about sugar, I'm talking about all sorts of sugars. So naturally occurring sugars like honey, molasses, maple syrup. Sometimes we hear that those might be better, but they actually are processed through our bodies in the same way. So they're all virtually the same as table sugar. So when we're looking at adding sugars or those added sugars in our diet, we really want to cut down where and when possible. One of the big culprits here in the US is soda. Soda is chock full of sugars. 10 teaspoons for, I think it's a 16-ounce can. That's a lot of sugar to be taking in. And actually, it meets almost your entire daily requirement of how much sugar you should be taking in, or you can take in, rather. Sticking to drinking water instead of soda is a good idea. So ways to cut back on those sugars. If you really need that extra satisfaction, which for me, I did, especially when I tried to cut back on sugar, I really like sparkling water. I get that extra satisfaction of the fizz or the carbonation without all the empty extra calories. So one thing I would love to do today is to challenge everybody who's watching to cut down on the added sugars in their diet. That could be very beneficial for your health overall. There's even potential links to immunity. I know we talk about immunity a lot lately. So cutting back those sugars is such a great idea, the added sugars, if possible. So for the next 2 weeks, looking at the labels can be very helpful, just to be cognizant of cutting back our sugars. Fruits, vegetables, and milk products have sugars in them, but these are naturally occurring sugars. And you also get all the nutritional benefits of the fiber, the vitamins, and everything else that's in these items. So those types of sugars are okay. So I would always replace a dessert, like a cookie or a cake or a pastry, with fruits. Fruits are okay and actually good sugars.
So good sugars versus bad sugars. Like she said, the key is they're not created equally, and there are on the labels little tricks with the OSC at the end to know those are various different versions of sugar.
I mean, you know, I do sugar in my coffee every
Yes.
morning, and you know, I feel different when I don't do it, but I feel better when I haven't done it for a few days. Like last week, or even on my vacation, I wasn't drinking the creamer. And so, gosh, she brings up some great points, and a lot of people want to try to let it go in one ear and out the other,
Yeah.
but it's something we all have to listen to for sure.
Knowledge is power. You need to at least know and make your choice if you want it or not. Okay, it is off.